We have two more NHL trades to discuss. Both are veteran defensemen on the move, between Vancouver sending a player to Ottawa and Detroit sending a defenseman to the Kings. We'll discuss those details coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have a couple more NHL trades, and there's a few more being worked on, so expect a few more videos here in the short term. First up, we have a trade between the Canucks and the Senators, with Vancouver sending defenseman Travis Hamonic, who's got one more year left on his contract at $3 million, to Ottawa for a third-round pick. Now, this deal's a little bit confusing in a sense. From Vancouver's standpoint, it's not at all. They get a salary cap dump. We know that they've been looking for some more cap flexibility, so it makes total sense on their end. For a player who's already been on waivers this year, and seeing what the price tag are of some of these other defensemen, for Ottawa paying a third-round pick to help Vancouver dump a contract seems like a little bit much to me, but I only hope for Ottawa's sake that this helps them move along Nikita Zaitsev either in the summertime or they buy him out or something, because if they have Hamonic and Zaitsev on that right side, I don't know how that's going to really help the blue line. So I'm not a huge fan of it just because it might kind of not really do what Ottawa's blue line needs, but at the same time, it's great from Vancouver's standpoint. I just think they should have been able to get away with giving up a later round pick for helping them out of a jam. Now, keep in mind, Travis Hamonic played for the New York Islanders for a long time. His head coach for a long of that stretch was Jack Capuano, who was an assistant coach in Ottawa. So there is some familiarity there, so that should be okay. Hamonic is known as a pretty good veteran, but certainly has had an odd time in Vancouver in a sense this year. So was a bit unusual for him for sure. Obviously gone through some different stuff on and off the ice. Obviously, we also saw a comment from his agent saying that he was disappointed with the trade, given the fact he felt Vancouver was progressing and kind of challenging for a playoff spot. So we'll all see where this goes. But certainly, as I mentioned numerous times before, I think the biggest area of opportunity for the Senators to get better is their pro scouting. Like I said, I don't really have an issue with Hamonic going to Ottawa. It just seems like not a great return, and I think they could have probably gotten him for a little bit less. And the only reason this makes sense is he could replace Josh Brown, who's a pending UFA, who's likely not coming back, and hopefully it helps the Senators move along from Nikita Zaitsev. So we'll see what they do in subsequent moves. Otherwise, it may not make sense longer term, but overall, that's what it is. The LA Kings have acquired Troy Stecher from the Detroit Red Wings in exchange for a 7th-round selection. So Troy Stecher, he goes for a 7th, and yet Hamonic gets a 3rd. Kind of head scratching here, the way things go. But of course, he'll be reunited in LA with former Canuck teammate Alex Edler. I know LA is basically looking for some extra depth. Drew Doughty's been hurt. It looks as though he may be out longer than they originally thought. So they're looking for a little extra help there just to kind of keep some NHL minutes and kind of keep them in the race here as they are in the conversation here for playoffs. So they want to make sure they don't lose out on that. They have some teams trying to chase them down. And Stecher's obviously a guy who's serviceable, been around the league a while now, so he should be able to help out a little bit there, probably in a lesser, probably like a 3rd pairing type of role. As I mentioned, we have lots of other news going on. There is a talk of Mark Giordano going to the Maple Leafs. We're just waiting on the final details. The Leafs are also working on another trade as well, so stay tuned for a few more videos coming up here shortly. So we'll get all of that as the news breaks. So if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and stick around. We will keep you up to date with all the latest news, rumors, and analysis on all 32 NHL teams. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.